It's the 27th of December, 2025, Saturday morning, approximately 7:30, 6:30, something like that. Anyway, so this story is about a young lady, and I met her around 2024, maybe 2023. Yeah, because sometimes my memory doesn't work as well as it should, so I do the best I possibly can. Anyway, I meet her through a gentleman, and usually I meet women through women because in the adult entertainment industry, that's how that works. But this young lady is not in the adult entertainment industry. She's a nurse. And so I did a reading on her. And sometimes when I do readings, there's things that I don't want to say because I feel like it might be a totally not good thing to say, so I don't say it. Since it's my gift, I'm allowed to do so. But at the end of the reading, I said, "You're going to be a grandmother." And my God, she only looked like she was like maybe tops in her 30s, 25 to 30 years old. So I'm thinking, my God, this girl must have had a kid at 12 or 13, and then had a kid around, another same idea. And then she screams and she goes, "You got everything right but that one. But I do live with my 18-year-old daughter, and then I have another daughter at that time." And I'm like, oh, wow. So she goes home and she goes and talks to her daughter, and she goes, "You wouldn't believe it. I seen this psychic says you're pregnant." And she goes, "Mom, I got to take you to the bathroom and talk to you by her. And she tells her that she is pregnant, and they both start screaming and stuff like that. And she calls me up. She goes, "Oh my God, you got that right. She is pregnant." Now, I don't mean to use the Lord's name in vain. That was not right. But anyway, as the situation goes on, and most people, I don't do readings after readings after reading, but this young lady really enjoyed it. And she always wanted to find out if something bad was going to happen. Now, she's a very, very nice person. She introduced me to a quadriplegic person, which I thought was very kind. And her nursing duties, help these kind of people as well and get them through life. There was this one incident, though, just before I met this gentleman, and I knew that something bad was going to happen. But the last time I stopped something bad from happening, something worse happened. Like I tried to stop this young lady from going on a ride, saying something bad would happen, and then something bad happened to two other people related to her. So I try not to say too many bad things so that I don't have to try to stop them from happening, because I don't think I really can. But anyway, she's going on a trip, and she's telling me, "Is everything going to be okay?" And I knew that something was going to happen. But the end result would be that something positive happens at the end. So sure enough, she went on the trip and she hit a deer and her car got totaled. And then, she's like, "Birdy, blah, blah, this and that and that." And that was around last Christmas, I think it was, approximately, just after Christmas. And she said to me, "What's going to happen?" I said, "Well, you're going to get another car." And she goes, "No, I can't, this and that, this and that." And she goes, "When?" I said, "Well, in March." She goes, "Oh, that's only a month away." And I'm like, oh, wow, she's pretty happy about that. It's only a month away. Meanwhile, I can't lose my car for a day. But anyway, in March, she ended up getting a new vehicle, and it ended up working better for her. And then she was dating this gentleman at the time, and she wanted me to do a reading on him. She actually made me do readings on lots of her friends as well. And when I was doing the reading on this gentleman, I saw some things that weren't so nice. And he turned almost white as a ghost. And I said, "Oh, I hope I didn't scare him or anything." And then he went, because I did it in the car, and then he went back in the house to talk to the girlfriend, that's the one that introduced me to him and did the reading on him. And she said, "Birdy, he was white as a ghost. He was shaking and everything. What did you tell him?" I said, "I told him the basic things. I try to stay away from bad news. I don't think I really gave him any bad news." But anyway, that relationship didn't end up working out. And she says, "That's probably why you saw something bad in him. And he saw it, and you didn't realize that you said something that was not right. But he thought that it was bad. And, he thought you knew what he was doing. I guess he robbed her for some wealth and something like that." But these things happen in life, and they ended up leaving each other, and they weren't together. And then she ended up dating the same guy that she introduced me to in the very beginning, and that's when I saw it. I saw something really bad was going to happen to her, and I had to make sure that the gentleman that she was dating at the time did, like her, love her, and all that. There was an incident when she started not feeling very well and crying to me about the relationship that she was involved with. And I thought, okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give her a silver coin. It's a 1967 25 centennial piece. This would give her a wish, good luck, and she would have to give it to someone she loves later in her life, approximately a year later, to someone else she loves. But this also will give her magical abilities to do what she wants. One thing you're not supposed to do with it is try to get someone to come close to you, like make them love you. You can't do that. You can't change the will of another individual. What their will is what it is. But you can get contact. And so she wished for contact from this person, which was the other person that is supposed to save her life, which I did the week before. And sure enough, the coin worked, and they started to continue. And then I saw the situation going back and forth, like arguments and this and that, and then they would get back together. Arguments, and then they get back together. Now, for unknown reasons, I had to make sure that he stayed with her long enough at least to save her. In fact, right now, as far as I know, they're still together. And the end result for that situation was that she would also need him in order to do these things that would happen in order for this young lady to be saved. And she's also going through issues with her 2 daughters, and all these kind of things are happening. And I'm doing the best that I can to try to smooth it over, let's say, so it's not as bad as she thinks it's going to be. Because sometimes family relationships don't end up going exactly the way you plan, no matter what. But you do the best you can in order to try to help them to get, a good feeling about it, or that there's hope or understanding that the relationship between a mother and 2 daughters work out. I'm not 100% sure if both the daughters it's not working out, but I know one that it was just difficult for her. And there's a lot of things that in this situation that I did that I thought were pretty magical. And she would probably remember more than me because she's the one that was being done to. But the person had such a great heart that the quadriplegic person that she was, working for and working to do things has let her go 2 or 3 times. And then the last time the person let her go or fire her or, doesn't need her no more, she even helped him move to a different location. That's got to tell you the kind of heart that this person does have. And she loves to help people. Well, a lot of the people she helps don't help her back in return. And I thought that was unfair as well. But anyway, can't say her name or else I'd have to say everybody's name. And I hope that she does well and she's happy. And I'm going to try to make this under 10 minutes if I can, because there's a lot here that I could keep going on about. But we're going to stop it now. And I'll talk to you later. It's Birdy signing out.